an okay story. I didn't think it was that great.
But when I was a kid, that was awesome. Like,
I don't feel like Obi-Wan did much. He just basically told them when to shoot the guns
and killed a bunch of people.
He killed one. He killed one guy.
He just realized that the microwave wine was the traitor all along.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how he figured that out. Other than
he heard it go ping.
I guess.
The Force told him. He's like, wait a minute. I've had microwave wine before. I can tell when a real microwave makes wine.
Yeah.
This wine had a certain sinister, traitorous taste to it.
So I guess Trillin
had a murderous bouquet.
Trillin was not in league with the Mersons. He just didn't turn off his machine,
which somehow was alerting the Merson. So he must have known something. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I'm not smart enough to get this this level of
there's a lot of layers.
Yeah, there's some deep stuff. What do you think, guys?
Like I said, it was an early Star Wars story. I enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun.
It's something I wanted to show you earlier, a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think I've ever gotten around to it. It's not exciting, but this is I finally picked up the facsimile edition of the first issue.
That's cool. Does it does it have ads and everything?
It does. It has all the original everything, all the ads.
That
yeah, that's why I really think you'd like it. You know,
that's what makes it worth having in my mind.
Yeah, because I got reprints of it already.
I mean, these ads are just. These ads are awesome.
Printing or whatever.
Look at that mess. Karate, muscle building.
Is that Baxter paper? That looks fancy.
This is
glossy. It looks like much nicer paper.
It's glossy paper, which is, it is what it is. This is something that they mentioned some of this stuff about Star Wars. In one of the letter columns, they mentioned that, and we were like, oh, we need to look at that again. It is in here, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I like to see there.
And the only thing I think that's kind of not that great about it, besides the fact that it's on, non-newsprint paper, the colors are a little garish. Not as bad as the
because it's just better printing. Yeah,
not as bad as it is on the digital.
Tropes, he was talking about. I can't remember what book it was, but when they did a trade paperback, the colorist went back in and recolored.
Oh yeah, this is it
because he knew that it was going to be a different process.
The little spread that is really neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's got some interesting tidbits in here that
Oh, is that an extra section that they added? Like to talk about?
No, this was in the original issue, but one of the letters that we read from the letter columns from earlier, they talk about something that's mentioned in here, and I'm like, I don't remember that, and so we're like, we're going to need to get a copy of issue 1 and look.
Pretty cool.
So yeah. This is a fun thing. I wish they would do this for like the first 6, like all the original ones. And because
the ones that cover the original story.
Even if they just make these custom, print by custom or whatever, so you don't have to print like a million of them or something, just print it on order. I'd buy these, man. They're like, it's $4, but that's just normal comic price now. But yeah, they should do this. They've made a lot of facsimiles for different Marvel books, which is great.
That is pretty cool. I like that concept.
What was the price on the original book? Like 35 cents?
30 cents.
30 cents.
Yeah. So, I mean, It's gone up.
Yeah.
but that was 40 something years ago, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably roughly what it was with inflation. It was probably like $3 back then. Look it up. Look it up.
Ridiculous. The prices of comics now.
All right. I'm looking it up right now. I don't care. I'm doing it. Talk amongst yourselves while I look this up.
I'll say how much is a typical
Dear Mr. Google, $3.99 is Marvel's
1977 monies.
1977 inflation calculator. Look at this. You're gonna find out something. 30 cents in 1977 was $1.32 today. What's wrong?
That's what I'm telling you, man.
$1.32.
They're making some money there, man.
They know they're not even trying to sell to kids anymore.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
$5-6 an issue. Bunkums, what I say. Bunkum.
That doesn't sound right. $1.32. It was more than that in the 90s for comics. Oh
That's
well.
what I mean.
Because they
They
know
started-
people buy it. They don't, you know, they
People stopped
probably
doing
don't.
cheap print comics back
Right.
then.
Yeah.
Like they started.
And they don't base the cost based on how much it costs to make it. They base it on how much they think they can get for it.
Want to see something else that's fun? I found my trashed copy of. Look at this. Look at this. You see,
Nice.
trashed copy of number 10. I mean, this thing is.
Oh,
Ooh, it's
that's
in
pretty
bad
cool.
shape.
I probably got a couple like that.
Look how like yellow the pages are. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or
Yeah,
not.
that's the good stuff right there.
But another thing that they did back then that I think they should do again. First of all, newsprint paper. Why not? It works. Second of all, there's ads all up the wazoo in these things. They don't put ads in comics anymore. I think that if they defrayed the cost
They
with
do
ads,
sometimes, but not like they
which
used
is
to.
why they're probably cost $4.
this
They
is a
know
cool.
they're selling to a
This is
certain
a cool
group.
ad. They're showing like different paraphernalia you
Yeah,
can
I like
buy,
that
like
stuff.
weird
Mhm.
stuff.
where it was always drawings because they couldn't get quality.
You could get
photos.
blueprints, sketchbook,
I guess I can't remember. I feel
Calendar.
like I did. I feel like I did write in for something like from an ad.
Oh yeah. Did you
What,
get 100% genuine diamonds? Only $5.95.
Oh yeah.
What's $5.95 in 1977? Hold on.
I sent away for the plans for building a Colonial Viper go-kart.
Oh, like a Battlestar
That's
Galactica thing?
awesome.
Yeah, out of wood. It was
that's-
actually, I mean, if we ever had built it, it would have been really cool. But I mean, but I got.
I wonder if you could download those now. Like if
Man,
I bet you could.
These
Yeah.
genuine diamonds are only $26 in modern money. Look at that. Genuine
probably chips.
natural diamonds.
They don't look like that. They're probably chips.
1/4 to 3 carats.
That's a chip.
I love these too. This switchblade combs. I don't know if you can see that.
I had a switchblade comb.
That's
yeah,
such
I
a
had those.
that's such a nerd thing to have.
I had one for sure.
Yeah, I think I've had 2 or 3 of them actually.
I love these old things, man. If you guys at home ever get a chance to pick up any old Marvel comic or DC, I don't read DC as much, but that are just trashed, and it's fun to look at them.
Marvel had,
and
more
you don't
fun
have to be so
because
precious
Marvel
with it.
Marvel, they were way worse about having ads chucked through everything. That's how they kept the lights on at Marvel, was ad revenue. So they had more ads in them than old DC comics.
But I wonder, like that would be an interesting story. Like whoever it was whose job it was to go out and sell these ads.
Yeah,
these comic book classifieds. Yeah, that'd be a fun documentary.
They went to the skeeziest people possible.
Really? I mean, they must have had to deal with some crazy characters.
Here's some more cool old paraphernalia. You could get T-shirts.
Oh, I love that ad.
Little book bags, all kinds of neat stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
Look at
that weird looking backpack.
Obi-Wan just like chilling with the stormtrooper.
How come you never see that stuff around?
I'm sure it's around. Some of that stuff's probably built so crappily though that they didn't last,
So.
Because this is 77 back of a comic book stuff. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Oh, that's neat.
Cool. Very cool.
Next issue would be what, 25?
Yes.
And it's the siege. The siege at Yavin. So that's going to be
12. We're really going to milk it till Empire comes out.
Don't remember that from the Star Wars history books, but the siege.
Well, I like that. The scale, it's stretched out too long, but it does make sense that would be a big part of their storyline, trying to find a new base, trying to relocate from Yavin, and knowing that the Empire will be coming after them.
It's really a perfect setup for them for the comic if they had done it right, because
that's probably
you can't do much with the war because you don't know what's going to happen. What you can do is separate your heroes from the rebels because they're having to flee the base, so they're running off. They're having individual adventures because they're not dealing with the Alliance.
They don't even know where the heroes will be in the second movie, so they have to be very careful not to advance their story too much.
So don't have anyone get in a relationship or get killed, and I think it'd be all right.
Well, I mean, they can't say, well, and then we set up a whole new base here, and then like, what if Empire was like first 5 minutes was now we got to get out of Yavin, or they're like, we're never leaving Yavin, we'll die here.
That's
like,
true.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be
We
fun.
didn't get any guidance on that. It's like when Dark Horse did the alien stuff, and they just did a continuation of like Newt and Hicks and all that. The whole storyline was built around those characters. Like Ripley was hardly even in it. And then like Alien 3 came out, I was like, no, they died like 10 seconds after the Aliens movie. It's like, Jesus, man.
That's one of those movies that I choose to believe doesn't really exist. It was just a bad dream.
Yeah, that's not part of my canon.
It's all fake. None of them happened.
That's one of them conspiracy theories they talk about.
Well, you can do that, and it's fun. Anyone can
most
choose
people
whatever
ignore
story
Alien 3.
they like.
It was dumb. If you wanted to make another Alien and ignore that too, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I've said that plenty of times. I don't care about canon at all. Like you can cherry pick anything you want out of a franchise, especially if it's lasted as long as Aliens has. If you enjoy it, then you can watch that. You don't have to like, well, if I like this, then I have to retroactively go back and like everything else. Like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
You could start over here and pretend this is the first thing that ever got made.
How's this new Highlander going to fit into canon, man?
Yeah.
Are we just going to pretend they're not aliens? Is that how they're going to play it?
Yeah. Is it going to, how's Zeist factor?
Yeah, I would say, oh man.
Did you hear about that, Greg?
Yeah.
Who's
so
going to play General Katana?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw it on, we were talking about it earlier on Facebook, and that's the only thing it does work, because they could bring back Zeist, because the people who write stuff probably don't go back and look at the stuff enough to realize how bad it was.
No, at its face, if somebody said, okay, so we're going to make a sequel to our reboot, what'd they do in the original Highlander 2? It's like, well, they said they were from another planet named, like, okay, I'm going to stop you right there, because that sounds idiotic. Like, let's just go our own way with
I'm with Greg. I think I think what they would instead do, not thinking that it's idiotic, but go, and how much money did that one make? Oh, no, it didn't make no money. It's like, all right, we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that.
Which one worked?
What about part 3?
We're going to do that.
Make any money. Part 4, it didn't really make any money. How'd they make 5 of these movies? Like, part 5, did it make money? I didn't even make it to theaters. Like, Jesus Christ.
One must have been a
Why
blockbuster.
are we remaking this? Like, number one was considered a moderate success. I was like, why are we spending $100 million to remake this movie where the first one did okay?
And no one remembers it. No one under the age of 40 remembers it. I mean,
what are we doing?
So essentially what you're doing is like, okay, you're doing a remake of a moderately successful movie, and by doing that, you're going to anger the fan base of that moderately successful movie to the point.
I doubt it.
Honestly, well, no, there'll be fans out there that are like, I don't want to watch it. It's like, why do you bother giving these people anything? Like,
now those are the guys that love the TV show, though.
Some do. Yeah, there's two different kinds of fans, like extreme fans and fandom. They're the ones that just decide they like everything and won't hear any criticism of it. They're not as common these days, because the more common extreme fans are the ones that just hate everything that comes out with it. Like, well, why are you gravitating to that? Just do yourself a favor. Because I think it'd be fun. If it's not good, then no Highlander sequel ever was.
It's
fine.
I like that Henry Cavill was part of it.
I think, I like it for his sake too, because he's good. But I like to see him getting roles, like especially after The Witcher. They're like, I can picture him with long hair and a sword. That's how Hollywood works. Because he had it in that other thing.
I think Witcher saved him, even though it wasn't like a huge phenomenon. I saw so many people really that had bad opinions of Henry Cavill after Superman, and then saw that and go, oh, okay, so he's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a good move for him.
Even I was looked at him differently after that. Like, oh, he's kind of charming on screen, actually. He's not bad.
Yeah, he did some other stuff that I think if you didn't like him because of Superman, that he kind of redeemed himself, but I thought he was okay Superman, he's Superman. You play Superman. But there's really no way to play Superman other than to be Superman.
Yeah, and he did it really well. People are like, he was a terrible Superman. It's like, the movie wasn't good. He was fine.
He was
Don't
kind of
blame
dark for
him.
me. But
He
anyway,
didn't play it dark. I just think it was written dark. I think
Mhm.
if you'd given him a light Superman script, then he would have played it fine. He has a lot of charm to me as Superman, but now I want it to be Michael B. Jordan. So we're moving on.
cool.
That's Superman.
Yeah.
I had not heard that.
Another guy is
Well,
jumping
I
from
don't know.
Marvel to DC, and then he'll be in
Well,
Star Wars next.
I don't know that they're talking to him about it, but I think they should be talking to him about it.
I've
'cause
heard that,
he
but I
had
mean,
pitched-
again,
years ago he had pitched to Superman, and they weren't ready to go that way yet. But now with J.J. Abrams, they got Ta-Nehisi Coates writing the script, so they're looking to do Black Superman. So I'm like, well, you better call Michael B. Jordan then.
but
Mhm.
how's he going to be Black Panther too? It's going to get confusing.
Well, I don't know that he will be Black Panther.
Nah, probably not. But I think they should. I think they should make him Black Panther. I think that would be cool.
That would have been cool, but I like the idea in Black Panther of them trying to utilize the existing team together to sort of make up. Like, I don't, without, since they don't want to recast, which is a smart idea, I don't think they could come up with a character that could singularly replace the Black Panther, like T'Challa from the first movie. So I think it'd be more fun to sort of see that team come together and be Black Panther. Like, you've got the techie girl who designs all the stuff and she calls the
Shuri.
shots, and then you've got like the Dora Milaje. Any one of them could have become Black Panther. Lupita Nyong'o could be.
Mm-hmm. That'd be kind of neat, I guess.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Just go crazy, because you're in a situation where something extreme is called for. You can't just replace him, and it. So try something different. I think
Yeah.
the name Wakanda Forever does sort of suggest that they're going for a sort of broader scope. So it'll be fun to see.
And I think you can do that in a Marvel movie, because Marvel has been successful over the years, and the DC too, of putting new characters into superhero slots. Um, well, I mean, like Falcon and becoming Captain America. Those kinds of things. You can take
they've been
another
going
person
on for so long that they just about have to. Like, people are already like, I didn't expect Robert Downey Jr. to make as many movies as he did. Like, if you're telling me he's gone from the MCU, that tracks. Like, there
Yeah,
were
he's getting
20
too old.
movies. And Chris Evans the same way. Like, Captain America was in lots of these movies. So moving on, it's fun to see it progress, because we never had a franchise where you had that many movies for those kind of characters anyway. So to see someone else within the story take up the mantle is something. Yeah, wouldn't it be fun if you could see Batman movies go on long enough that he could hand the mantle over to Dick Grayson or something? But Batman's got to get rebooted every movie into half.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no continuity. And the comics get that way. Whenever they have the characters reach a certain point where you think there might be growth, they just reboot the entire DC universe.
Yeah,
So
well, Marvel does that now too. They've just recast all the characters as younger people.
Yeah, Marvel's
Mhm.
weird because they do it too, but they never seem to have like a cohesive reboot. Like, so they have a lot of pocket universes. That's I think DC is going to end up being that way too, where you're like, with Marvel, it's sort of like, well, what brand was this Ultimates? Because that was its own universe, or there was like a whole other universe that they created, like a Heroes Reborn or whatever kind of universe that wasn't part of the MC proper. And DC doesn't do that. They mostly reboot everything at the same time. But they're just starting to do it more often. I think Marvel can get away with it because they end up being sort of alternate universes half the time anyway. And DC ends up having to commit more often to these reboots, and they have these convoluted explanations in story about how these multiverses exist. And you're just like, I think really I would like to see the characters get old. Like, I don't think it'd be a problem to see Dick Grayson, because they had a storyline where Batman was supposed to be dead and Dick Grayson became Batman, and then Damian Wayne became Robin. I'm like, that was very exciting. It's not going to last, but you're like, this is at least a story I'd like to see, because I always wanted to see Dick Grayson become Batman. And what would
There's,
that be like?
there's no reason he couldn't. like actually become Batman.
Well, how
I mean,
many
he
times
has all
have
the
we
same
already
skill that
seen-
Batman has, right?
Was that was never done in the comics, was it?
Nah,
That
not
was-
that I know of. He became Nightwing.
Well,
One
that
of them.
was the
One of them
comics
did.
that they did that.
He became
He
Batman.
became- yeah, that's one.
Like, is this one of the last 10
I
years
just
kind of
told
things?
you a moment ago.
Oh,
I'm
he did?
thinking of like the, I'm not
They did
up
it.
with.
They did it in the comics a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, a few years ago. Okay, so I don't keep up with the DCs, and I try not to listen to you. So
Yeah, clearly. But it made me so mad because they in the rebooted universe they had Superman and Lois had a son, and Batman had Damian Wayne, his son, and they were both around the same age, and they would hang out and have adventures together. They were the Super Sons. And I was like, well, this is fun because you're kind of setting up a future where we won't ever see it, but you're kind of setting up a potential future where one day this Jonathan Kent is the new Superman and Damian Wayne is the new Batman. And wouldn't that be a fun setup? And then Bendis took over Superman, and the first thing he did was like, well, he got caught in a time warp and now he's grown up. Like, well, that sucks. That's stupid.
yeah, they change creative teams too much on these things.
Well, usually Superman, for the longest time, I could read Superman by anybody, but after a while, he's not a bad writer, but after a while, it's like, I don't care about Bendis' Superman, so I just dropped out of it. Like, I'll just,
Answer me this.
new comics are too expensive. I'll just start buying old comics.
This is something I've been thinking about Superman that bothers me. Kryptonite, like, can kill him, right?
Yes.
And Kryptonite is just a piece of his home world where he was born. Why is it poisonous to him? Like, if we went to
The
a new
idea
planet,
is
why would a
that
piece
in
of
the-
Earth kill us?
I don't know. Well, because the idea was that whatever destroyed Krypton made the remaining fragments of it irradiated in a way that was radiation that would
That
affect
only
his
would affect
physiology.
his species, okay, but no one else.
In the same way that our sun makes him stronger, that radiation makes him weaker because
Okay, I'll buy
because
that.
it's from, as much as any of it makes sense. That's
Okay, it
I don't
just
know,
never
when
made
they
sense to me, and
sometimes-
for some reason that occurred to me lately. It's like, it's his home world, it's his own planet. It's kind of weird that, he was born there, but it kills him now. But I guess that makes sense. That radiation just
No
happened at the
wonder
last
they
minute.
sent him
so, like,
away.
so my
He said-
theory, my
Turns out
theory
it's
was
an allergy.
that at Krypton they had a red sun, didn't they? Didn't
Yeah.
they? So they didn't have the superpowers that Superman has.
Yeah, somehow yellow
correct.
light gives him
Yeah,
a whole
well,
different
so
kind of
like
power.
the same thing with
Well,
Krypton.
again, it's whatever the radiation of.
I'd
of
understand
it-
if to Greg's point, I'd understand if the kryptonite somehow took away his powers a little bit because it, removed that whatever, but to actually be poisonous and kill him, like harmful to him.
It depends on the era because sometimes it has been more like if he was exposed to kryptonite, then he'd lose his abilities for a while, and if it were long enough, it would kill him. But in others, it is more like it's poisonous. It's a bit weird that it's like, because if you encountered something radioactive to you, and then they took it away, you'd still die.
Yeah, that's true.
You wouldn't just recover. I guess the idea is that he's being exposed to the positive radiation from the yellow sun, and it heals him.
I don't know, man. These are the questions that try men's souls.
Yeah, this is definitely like
some
that's
of
too
the
deep.
deeper questions.
You don't want to go into it because it does. In any story, if you break it down too much, doesn't make sense at its face, especially comic booky kind of stories.
How about you guys at home leave a comment and tell me why kryptonite is harmful to Superman, and also tell me what you think about Obi-Wan's first solo adventure. I'm
Don't
hoping.
call back to that. This can't be part of the same video. It's like 2 hours.
Well, let's do an outro for the video, the first part then.
Hmm.
So
All right.
there's Obi-Wan's first solo adventure. What do you think? Tell us at home. Leave us a comment. I'm hoping that the solo series that's coming up on Disney Plus has a little more action. Huh?
Oh, you're talking about Obi-Wan solo
yes.
Oh, I was
series.
saying, what
Yes.
solo series?
Like,
What?
they're not
What?
making a solo series.
Obi-Wan's solo series. Yeah, I know it gets a little confusing. I hope that's a little more
Even
action
though a
than
solo
that.
series, I would watch.
I totally watch a solo. I'd watch any of them.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
hoping the Lando series will be sort of
So is that a definite going thing then,
it
Lando?
was
I haven't.
announced. They
Oh,
haven't talked about anything, but it was announced.
okay.
When
Are
they
they
announced all those
getting
other shows.
was Glover? Is that
They
his
haven't
name?
talked about anything else. I certainly hope so.
I hope so too. That would be awkward if they didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Anyways,
but
let
it
us.
could be an animated series for all I know. They didn't. They aside from launching a logo, they didn't say much about the Lando series.
So let us know what you think in the comments about that. I appreciate the people that have been leaving comments. We got one good comment that said we need to tighten it up a little bit, and I agree,
Yeah.
and we will. We just have to
I'm
work
sure
it out.
It'll be tighter in the edit of this than it was in the recording.
Well, we'll do our best, but we just can't seem to help ourselves, and that's part of the fun too for us. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Check out tv8mydinner.com. That's where all the podcasts that we do and this and other things can be found, right, Sean?
Yes.
This is your
Always
thing.
Jump off to the tv@mandinner.com. Does have links to everything that we do. Most of the stuff like that we're doing right now is on the Marvel Age channel too, though. But hopefully we'll have some other YouTube channels to launch pretty soon. We've got some other stuff in the works. And I did get a story published in Andromeda Spaceways.
Oh yeah,
If
that's
you're
Oh, yeah.
cool.
familiar with that Australian publication.
I'll put a picture up of it, and maybe put a link down, and we'll put a link in
Yeah, that's fun.
the description so people can check that out if they want to. That's kind of
That was
neat.
very nice. So thank you to the
Mhm.
people at Andromeda Spaceways.
Oh yeah, that's awesome,
That's
and
very cool.
good for you guys
That's
for
very cool.
making a publication on online publication. I mean, that's more people need to be doing that kind of thing.
It's difficult stuff. I don't envy them.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of work.
Got to sift through a lot of stuff from people like Sean.
Mm-hmm. Crap
no,
stories.
no,
Mhm.
from people like Greg, and then they find the one that Sean
Yeah.
did. That's
Yeah,
like,
Sean's the one that made it through.
yeah.
It's
I
some people
really
like
read
us.
that to go, can't even imagine what they had to read through to get to this.
But
Space
that's awesome.
truckers.
So, hey, Sean's got a book on Amazon. We haven't talked about that in a while. If you want
We
to,
haven't, because there was a weird business with it for a while where they kept
oh,
they kept coming up and saying, copyright holder has complained about, like, Disney complained about your book. I'm like,
oh
really?
no,
So you need to rectify this.
And you're
It's
thinking,
not-
Disney read my book?
Like, that seems highly unlikely. Disney must have a bot that looks for things about Star Wars, but it's clearly a mistake then, because it's it's commentary.
Mhm.
So I sent Disney an email. I'm like, well, it's editorial commentary, but if you have something you want me to change, just let me know what I should be doing differently. And they wrote us back on, we did not have a copyright claim against your book.
yeah, we
So-
don't care about
Yeah,
you.
we have no idea who you are or how you got this email. And then so I went back to Amazon and I said, they say there's no copyright claim that filed by them. Like, oh, okay. And then Amazon came back later. They said, actually, it's the cover is violating our guidelines. I'm like, what do you mean? And then after a couple of days, they're like, your book's live again. Like, so it's just
Get
their
it while you
bot's going
can,
out of
guys.
control, I guess. It's
Go on
fine
Amazon
now.
and buy it
They're-
now
they're really-
before it gets pulled again.
They're really cracking down on any kind of copyright infringement.
Well, as they
stuff is-
should. I don't have
as
a
they
problem with
should,
it at all,
yeah.
but I'm not in violation. But the thing
Yeah.
is, but the problem is that most of those processes are automated and not very much monitored by human beings, so that when you have an issue, it's difficult to get somebody to even tell you. Because the whole time was like, you're sending me this thing. The first notification I got from Amazon said the following book is in violation and didn't list a title. Like, I had to go to my bookshelf and see which one wasn't live anymore to see what they were even talking about. And then you're like, so far you haven't told me what I've done wrong. I'm receptive. I could have made a mistake. I don't think so.
What I hate about that is, like, and why I said that they're cracking down so much on copyright infringement, like you said, as they should. It, for the school that I work at, I produce the commencements every semester, and and so we have trouble from YouTube and this go around Facebook, um, because we played Pomp and Circumstance. Da, 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 that's, and um, but we pay a fee to be able to use that. We pay
ASCAP or
various.
something.
Well, we pay them all, but yeah, I think Pomp, this version of Pomp is in BMI. Um, but YouTube doesn't know that just by the bot doesn't know that, so they take it offline for a day or two while people are trying to find it, to watch. And
We had a video got taken down a long time ago and it had a sample of an actual song, like a police song or something in it. And I got a copyright thing and I clicked on it, but it wasn't the police copy that found the copyright. It was some dude. And I clicked on his page and he's like a rapper, but he's not a real rapper. He's like a guy in his bedroom, and he's using a sample of that song. And somehow YouTube thinks that he owns that song now. That's like,
because he's the first one that posted
to
it,
use
so
it. Like,
him.
Yeah.
it's just that's how messed up that. Anyway,
I
we're way
imagine
off
that's-
track now.
Yeah, I imagine that's
sorry
a
about
cottage industry too. People who buy the rights to old songs and stuff, and collect royalty
Yeah,
fees
that
off
can
of
be
people
really
and
bad
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
That's where you get into copyright trolls and all that kind of nonsense.
Anyway, back to
This
the
book's
outro.
called The
So-
Cosmic Unconscious. So it is out there if you want to see it on Amazon. It's about Star Wars.
Okay, so check
There we
out
go.
Sean's book, The Cosmic Unconscious, on Amazon. You got anything to promote, Greg? No.
No, not really.
No. That's all right,
I got
man.
this T-shirt for sale. If you want.
Yeah.
I will tell
Everyone's
you
got-
about.
Craigslist.
We got
I will tell you
NASA
about
and
a
Star
project
Wars.
I
I just
have-
gotta go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're just plain.
I like this one because it's actually it's a cover design from the comic,
Oh
which
yeah.
I think is really cool. You don't see too
Um,
many of those.
I do have another podcast project going with somebody else, and it's not out
You
yet.
don't have to say
but,
it like that. It's fine.
I know.
Okay, man.
As long as we have an open relationship, that's okay.
I've got another podcast.
But
Kind of shady.
yeah, and it's actually Dan, a friend of mine, his creation, currently called a podcast about nothing, and we're going through each episode of Seinfeld and doing.
All right,
critical.
go for it, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
he is a Seinfeld
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Give
know,
us
the
a
link.
give us a link.
devotee. I saw it like passing through the 90s. I wasn't a huge fan, so I'm kind of the
Straight man.
straight man for it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. We'll put a link down there if you guys want to check that out
But when the link becomes available, I will do so.
when the link becomes available. And in the meantime, just give us thumbs up if you want to. Give us a like. We appreciate it. Subscribe if you'd like. We'd love for you to do that. Leave a comment. All that YouTube stuff. You know how to do it. And until then, we'll see you soon for issue 25.
And thanks for having me.
Thank
I
you,
enjoyed it.
Greg. That's Greg. I'm Brooks.
Yeah, you are. But there's still, I don't know where anybody is.
All right. Well, I'm Brooks.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Greg.
And we'll see you soon. Snoop.
Snoop.